You need to be very focused on change. The biggest single difference I notice between people who succeed and those that don't.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and the wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today you're here for a treat because we have Jim, which is the CEO and founder of the Australian largest franchise group, the Jim's Group, with over 5,000 plus franchises among 50 different brands. So Jim, tell us, what are the 5 steps to achieve 1 million in profit?
Okay, all right. First thing is, yes, you did say $1 million in turnover, and I think that's particularly good because the margin can be very low. You might not make much money at all. $1 million profit. Okay, focus on customers. Be obsessional about customers. You need to know what your customers want, how they are, and how you can serve them well. You need to be very focused on change. The biggest single difference I notice between people who succeed and those that don't is that people who fail, when something goes wrong, they'll say, okay, who's at fault? Is it my customers? Is it the system? Is it the advertisers? Is it the economy? In our case, is it the franchisor? They'll blame everybody and their dog. Good operators will say, okay, maybe other people didn't do what I wanted, but what can I do different? You've got to be endlessly self-critical. Next, you need to focus on costs. Okay, people get into business. Sometimes they have this idea, if I have an expensive car and a flashy office and I have, all the expensive clothes and all the rest of it, I'll impress people and that will really give me. And that's just an excuse for spending money. My whole approach to business is extreme frugality on anything doesn't matter. Spend on what really matters. Support, customer service, support, in our case, to franchisees. But everything else cut back. I still, and I'm a little bit more than got that past the stage now, the $1 million profit, but I still, in the supermarket, I'll look to the bottom shelf and I'll buy the cheap stuff. My wife drives my wife mad. She says, not as good. And I said, it's the same cost. And I wear my clothes or my socks until they got holes in them. So I'm always control your costs. Very important to be resilient. You've got to be able to cope with things that go wrong, because one thing about business is absolutely true. No matter how great it is, you are always going to go through really bad times. So it's very important to be resilient. And there's things behind that. There's a good science behind it. I'm very keen on the science of happiness and health and so forth. But things like regular exercise, having enough sleep, you never can let your business get in the way. The important, really important is you are not a whole person, you're an effective person if you don't have a good relationship, which means your family. And I don't believe business should ever get in the way of being a proper parent, partner, whatever, and friendship too. So be resilient by looking after yourself and your psychological. It doesn't mean being lazy and being slack. It means taking the time out to do the things that are really going to make your life on a proper thing. And the last thing I would say is ethics. Now, that may not be universal. I know some people do succeed by doing things that are unethical, by taking shortcuts. All I can say is my experience very powerfully is that all my best decisions were made against what I thought was my interest at the time. Again and again, I've seen this pattern. And the reason for that is if you do the right thing, it may cost you in the short term, but somehow in the long term, it does seem to work out better. Reputation is very big in business. People don't realize. You sharp people for a while and you get into trouble. But even if not, it's not worth being in business. You have to do the wrong thing. So there's my 5.
Yeah. Well, I love the 5th one. You see, doing the right thing, even Jim, when nobody even knows that you're doing the right thing, because your 5 step is very connected with the 4th, meaning that, and I'm glad you put that in your steps. Not too many people get that view, right? But there is something really important, which is the combination of your step number 5 and 4, because it goes aligned with the mindset with the entrepreneur. And unfortunately, what's going on out there, people building the business, right, they are stuck in the business. They have this mindset, I know how to do everything, and everything, how to do everything how I say, because I'm creating this business. Everybody what have to do what I say. And then what happened? They are working in the business Monday to Sunday. They are stuck. They're not moving forward, not making any money. And now they don't have time to spend with the family, with the friends, people they love. And then all this negative emotion of wearing all the hats in the business can become a physical emotion. And then you can end up with cancer, with heart attack, overweight. Yeah, I'm a sign of it. Yeah, my business, you see, I'm still recovering for that, because it creates a lot of anxiety, and then your body take a hit, and without realizing, your business is going in the way of your life, and can end up the relationship with your family, can end up the relationship with your friend, but also can kill you. Literally can kill you, because you are in the process. You see, I remember when I built my first property business, we managed to save over 5 million. And I had this brilliant idea that to optimize time, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to eat in the whole day. I'm going to work. And then at 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, when I'm so hungry that I cannot even function, I'm going to call a fast food restaurant. There was 2 restaurants down my street in London. One was Chinese and the other one was Indian. And I remember I just called and said, I'm Harry. They knew already that they need to order the next number in the menu. And that's how it was. And like I said, I've been overweight. Yeah. I'm working on the case now, right? I managed to lose over 12 kilos, right? But that being on, my body took a hit. So why, Jim, in your 5 steps, you mentioned this step? There was a point on your life that you felt that the business was running you, controlling you, and you said this situation has to stop. This is not working. The other day I interviewed one entrepreneur here. The guy have 3 businesses, turning over $1 million in all of them, and the guy was vomiting blood. And he told me, Harry, I'm running this business. Business not running me. And he went off to Thailand and spent a year out there, and he's fine now. His business are okay now. But why, Jim, you mentioned this in your step, and why do you think we need to pay attention to this?
Well, first of all, very importantly, I don't think it's worth making money if it destroys your life. There's the saying that goes, no other success can compensate for failure in the home. So let's say you become a billionaire, okay? But your kids turn out badly, or you're estranged from them, and your marriage is destroyed, and you're in short-term relationships, and your whole, what's the point of it? What have you actually achieved? I mean, unless you're some humanitarian and you can say, yes, I've saved millions of lives, like a Bill Gates or something like that. Well, what's the point? Yes, I've got a bigger yacht than anybody else. I've got a fancier car. I've got a $500,000 car. I have holidays that everybody envies. But am I happy? In my view, not. I actually know some brother of a very close friend of mine, immensely wealthy man, much wealthier than me, committed suicide. Basically, family. I was stuck up. Family. What good was all this? So I don't think it's worth it, honestly, to have it. I've got to say, I've made many mistakes in business. Really, so many. I could talk to you for an hour and a half, but all the things.
Me too. Let's don't go there, because we will depress each other.
Doing things that I shouldn't do, rushing off into wild goose chases, going into business I don't understand, choosing the wrong people. I could go on, but I don't believe I've ever made the mistake of putting too much focus on the business that I neglected other parts of life. I have 10 kids, and I love my family.
Wow.
And I've always had time
for kids.
Yes. I've got to say, I'm a very difficult man. I've been divorced 3 times, not at my own decision, but I have a wonderful wife, married to 23 years, and we have our times, but we're doing very well. I just think that's what's the most important thing. See, but even apart from that too, I think people can sometimes get the idea that it's all about quantity of work. If you work enough hours. Now, you've got to work hard and consistently. Obviously, there's no success in business without that. I mean, you, unless you think you can make it by gambling or something. But what I find is this: 10 minutes of thinking clearly about a problem can do a lot more than 10 hours of slog. So you've got to look at a thing. You've had your run, you've had a walk, you've had a bit of gone outside, and you think, why are we doing it that way? What about trying this? And suddenly, like that, you've suddenly got a breakthrough. You realize that was a mistake, wrong path, wrong person, whatever it is, and now I'm going to change. And clear thinking is very important. You look after your mental health, you look after your family, you look after your church or wherever body you're involved in, and somehow things will work out for business. I mean, as a Christian, I also believe if you do the right thing, then it will somehow work out okay. Not necessarily financially, but somehow work out better.
Follow us for more interviews with the world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.